All right, hey you guys, grown ass woman here, gonna make some grown ass chicken soup right now, okay? So what I have done so far is I have chopped up carrots, onions, and celery, all right? And I have seasoned these in a pan that's got olive oil already in it, okay? And so I'm gonna turn my eye on now and get everything really hot and juicy. Juicy is the word I'm looking for, okay? So it is going to simmer here in this pot with my seasoning. So what I've got seasoned with it is rosemary. I've got marjoram. I've got a little bit of celery seed. I've got pepper. I've got my adobo, and I have my chicken bouillon, okay? So that's all of the seasonings that are in here so far, all right? And so it's gonna sizzle a little bit, and I'm gonna give it a stir so that I can sort of marry these aromatics down in my pot, okay? I'm gonna turn it down on simmer for a minute and just let that cook for just a little second, okay? Okay, so my veggies are getting real good and soft a little bit in here, okay? And so what I'm gonna now do is I'm gonna add my chicken, and I'm gonna braise it some. So the chicken I am using, y'all, is split breast, okay? You see all this good bone and skin? This makes for great flavor in your soup or any dish. The flavor's in the skin, the flavor's in the fat, believe it or not. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drop this chicken down in here. So I know a lot of you are really interested in buying boneless, skinless chicken breasts, but I like to buy full breast, split breast if you will. And what I'll do is I'll just take some chicken off, okay? I'll just take some of the chicken off and I'll use it for recipes easily, but I save this bone because this is where in the skin, and that is where the good flavor is. So, and meat. So I am adding this now into the vegetables, okay? So that it can braise some and I can get that good old flavor like on the bottom of the pan, okay? So I'm gonna let this go for probably 7 to 10 minutes. And let this flavor just infuse itself into the bottom of the pot. So let's take a look and see what's happening in the pot, all right? So what we've got is we've got our chicken, okay? And it's not done, but it has been braised a bit, okay? Browned some, all right? You see how great that's looking down in there? Everything down in there, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna deglaze it and we're gonna add even more flavor. So what I'm going to do first is I'm gonna add this better than bouillon into the pot. This is called roasted chicken base, okay? This is better than bouillon, and it is gonna add even more robust flavor to the chicken. So we've got layers and layers and layers of flavor, okay? If you notice, I've not added any salt because there's salt in everything, okay? There's salt in adobo, there's salt in the this chicken bouillon, and now there's salt also in better than bouillon. So, and the chicken broth that I'm going to also add has some sodium in it. So I don't need to add salt to the pot at all right? So let's see just how much I'm gonna do. Okay, let's see here. Can I open it? Can you open it, Mia? Yeah, I can open it. So I am gonna do a tablespoon, 2 of them. Where'd that little thing go? I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons, okay? That's how much I'm gonna put in here for my flavor. I'm gonna use this spoon to kind of get the rest of it off of here. All right. Then I'm gonna add chicken broth. I'm gonna add this whole thing. This is 32 ounces, so I guess that's a quart, something like that, okay? Put that in here, okay? And that's deglazing, getting all that good flavor off the bottom, okay? The next thing I'm gonna do, since that's not enough and I want flavor in my food, I'm not gonna add water. I don't have another one of these, or I would do about 2 more. I am going to take a measuring cup and I'm gonna add a teaspoon of this, and I'm gonna add 6 more cups of water into this. That's how much soup I wanna make. I'm gonna add 6 more cups. I'm gonna do a tablespoon per cup of this, and pour that in there, and that makes a nice light chicken broth. Here's what it looks like when you add that chicken bouillon into the measuring cup, okay? So again, I add about a teaspoon per cup for this, and I'm gonna pour this right on in here. And now let me show you something else. You know, soup is something that you can take a lot of liberties with. And so I'm gonna take a liberty this time, and I'm gonna add something that I made earlier in the week into my soup because it has a lot of flavor. Again, pot dripping. So I made chicken on a couple of nights ago. I made some chicken thighs, and I did not use, you know, all of the juice and things and gravy or whatever happens when you make your chicken thighs, right? So I have seasoned up chicken thighs. I baked them in the oven, and I made that with dinner. And so I saved the bottom of everything that was left when I baked the chicken in the oven, and I'm about to pour that into my soup, okay? So this is like real chicken stock that I'm adding now into here. It's got the fat also, and the fat is the flavor, right? So it's got the fat in here, and it's got all of the seasonings that I did use then, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't matter to me. Okay, so now that's in here, and let's look at the pot. Okay, so now this is what it's looking like. All right, and this has got tons and tons and tons of flavor. Okay, and I still have not added any extra salt to it, and that's okay. So I'm gonna grab now a bag of frozen mixed vegetables and pour that in here. And actually, I'm gonna let this ride for a minute. I'm gonna get my chicken going. No, I'm gonna put the vegetables on in here now so that they can be nice and soft. I don't like crunchy vegetables in my soup at all, okay? I'll put that in here, and guess what else I'm gonna put in here? So I had a baked potato from dinner the other night, another night, right? And nobody ate this baked potato. So this baked potato is gonna go into my soup. I sure am. I'm gonna peel it, and I'm gonna cut it and put it down in there. So stuff that you have like in the refrigerator that can really work, it goes in the soup, baby. It all goes in the soup. Get excited. Okay, so I'm about to throw my mixed vegetables down in here now. All right, and this is the baked potato right here. I went on ahead and peeled it. So I'm just gonna slice it. Yeah, slice it up. It's been in the refrigerator for a couple of days, so it's a little brown, but that's okay. So I'm not gonna slice it too small because I want the potatoes to not go away to absolutely nothing. Okay, because that's what will happen if they're too small. It'll really get mushy. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so see, now these are gonna go right on into the pot too. So now the potatoes are in there, and I am going to now let that go. Let's take a look at our pot. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna let this boil. Okay. So you can see everything's happening. See that nice broth is gonna be fantastic. Fantastic. So y'all, I looked in the refrigerator, and I was just looking around for, I was putting up some celery and some onion, and look what I found. I found a chicken thigh from the other night, okay? It's about 2 nights ago. And so now I'm gonna put this chicken thigh into the soup as well, all right? I'm gonna break it up a little bit and throw it down in there. So leftovers are really great for soups. Okay, now we've got the thighs down in there. We've got everything to a nice rolling boil, I should say. Okay, you can see everything. You can see the chicken is getting more and more done. So now I'm gonna simmer this. I'm gonna turn this down and simmer it. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a top on it. Okay, and this is a Tefal. Big, my daughter calls it a cauldron. Isn't that what witches use anyway? So yeah, this is my Tefal, and I make a lot of soup in here. I'm not gonna fill it up, but I need this much space to get the job done. So that's why I still have a much higher, it's only half of this, but I make my collard greens in here. And I'm gonna do a big pot of chili, but I doubt if I'll ever really fill this whole thing up. You know what I'm saying? I doubt that. So anyway, this is going to be the soup. And what I'm going to put in here, if you saw my Mediterranean Tuscan chicken penne pasta, if you recall, I said I don't ever use all of a pasta box. I never use that much in my dishes usually. So what's left over of that is going to also go in here. Okay, and that is going to be the noodles in my soup. Get excited, okay? So this right here is the leftover penne pasta. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in here now and let that simmer with everything too so they can be flavored nicely. And then that's gonna be the soup, baby. Guess what I did? I think you're gonna be proud of me. Hold on, let me close this refrigerator. I think you're gonna be proud of me. Guess what I did? And remember that penne pasta that I got out of the refrigerator that I had left over? I cut it up. I cut it up into smaller bite-sized pieces to put into the soup instead of large penne pasta. Now we have mini penne. Can that work? Mini penne, baby. That's what we got. Okay, so just smaller bits of penne pasta instead of larger ones, okay? So we're gonna throw that in here. Woo! And it's gonna also spread that pasta out so much more as well and get it flavored into the soup too. Flavored into the soup, that's a new thing. Look, so now we have a few potatoes, not a lot, but everything is down in here. It's still chicken soup, but it's got some, I don't know, got some soul to it. Okay. It's gonna be ready soon.